Hello and welcome everybody to another StarCraft 2 cast by Glitch, and let me tell you guys, I am so excited. Holy crap. I've been scrounging for replays for like the last, I don't know, week or so. I guess ever since about Thanksgiving break, I've been just scrounging for replays everywhere I can get them. But just today, finally, the replay pack of MLG Providence was released, and I am so excited. I'm going to be casting games from MLG Providence for like the next week at least. Probably there are over 1,100 replay files in this replay pack, so I'm going to be casting so many of them, and I hope you guys tune in for them. Right now, I'm going to introduce the two players spawning in the top right position as the blue Zerg. Playing from Team FX Open, we have Leenock, who is going to be playing under the alias of Timber today. Spawning in the top left position as the red Terran, playing from Team Slayers, we have MMA. Now, both of these players, oh my goodness, what can we say about these players? Oh, how much do I want to say about these players? You know what, let's just put it this way. Leenock, our blue Zerg buddy here, did very, very well at MLG Providence. He did so well, took a lot of wins off of a lot of very, very top players. Not going to spoil anything for you just in case you don't know the results, but I will just tell you that Leenock did very, very well. SlayerSMMA, of course, also a very well-known player, extremely good. Has come very close to winning many MLGs. I think he actually won an MLG, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct? Or did he get second? I can't remember anymore. It was too long ago and too many MLGs ago. And oh, SlayerSMMA throwing down a second barracks here on the low ground that I don't think Leenock did quite scout. Does Leenock know about it? No, he does not yet know about that barracks. But if that probe comes back down and out, he might see it. And oh no, Leenock is going to be going for the fast hatchery. He's already thrown down an expansion. No pool on the way yet. He's already droning up to 17 and not a single pool has been thrown down. He spotted this one barracks on the low ground, and so he is just going to be assuming that his opponent is just going to be going for a fast expand. Now here comes this drone. This drone's just now coming out, and there we go. It does now spot the barracks, and he is now aware that it is going to be a 2-racks play. We already have an SCV already in the base. A second SCV is on the way. That one SCV going to be poking up the ramp just to see, and the spawning pool is only halfway done right now. Still another 30 seconds left on that pool. Gas just now going down, but Leenock is not going to be mining from it because right now he needs all the minerals he can get to produce lots of lings and spine crawlers. But oh no, we do have one bunker now going down here for MMA. This is going to be so strong and so aggressive. 3 SCVs have been pulled off the line. 1 Marine is here. More are coming across the map right now. As we can see, there are more being produced here. No gas yet being mined here, but oh no, 3 bunkers going down right now. This could end the game for Leenock right now. Leenock actually even transferring drones down here to this lower position in case he needs them to fight. Baneling nests actually going up very quickly here for Leenock, and he is going to have so much trouble breaking this wall of bunkers. He is going to allow his hatchery to take some damage here. He needs to be very careful about how he times his attack. He needs to let his hatchery tank as much of this damage as possible for as long as he can, continue mining and get up as big of a force as he can, and then suddenly just hit with lots and lots of units, hopefully, before this hatchery goes down. Will Leenock be able to save this hatchery? It's already at 700 hit points. Only about a third of its hit points now are left, and it is going down very quickly. Spawning pool is up. No Zergling speed up yet. Baneling nest just about to complete. We do have a bunch of Zerglings up here on the high ground as well as some here on the low ground, but this hatchery is getting so low, 50-30 health, and oh no, the hatchery goes down. Leenock loses his fast expansion, and that is not looking good here for Leenock. He does still have these SCVs here that are going to be repairing up these bunkers for as long as they can. Oh, and actually one does get salvaged there so that the rest of his forces can start to move through, and the SCVs can move to the other side. Banelings now morphing in though, and they are now coming in, doing so much damage to those bunkers, and the last bunker does get surrounded. These SCVs looks like they are actually going to be taken out here. But man, I don't know. Leenock is going to be in a bit of trouble right now as he has lost his hatchery. If we check out the workers killed count, MMA really didn't get that many workers down, so there's still a lot of workers up for Leenock. He hasn't really lost any workers, but man, after losing that hatch, that is going to be such a huge setback. These Zerglings are now trying to chase down these SCVs. Looks like that is about going to be all they are going to get. Notice MMA did lose a lot of Marines in that exchange. If we check out the units lost tab, we can see that MMA really didn't lose, or Leenock really didn't lose that much more than MMA did. They are very, very close in the units lost tab. Leenock did just poke in here. Did he see? Yes, he did actually see that command center that's going down, so he's going to know that his opponent is going to be expanding here very soon, so he's going to feel safe about throwing down this hatchery, which is exactly what he is going to be doing. In the meantime, we are going to see lots of barracks actually being thrown down here for MMA, so it looks like it is going to be a bio play here from MMA. Maybe a standard Marine siege tank could be something that we see from MMA. That is something that I've seen him use a lot in TVZ, something very, very common for MMA. And ooh, Leenock actually taking down some destructible rocks there. I'm actually curious to know why he's doing this. He might be planning to take a secret base up here. That wouldn't be that smart, considering that on this map, of course, they have both spawned in northern positions, so that means if MMA decides to go for drops, his medevacs are going to be going right over this spot, so dropping a base there I don't think would be very wise. He might just start to take down these destructible rocks, take down these ones as well, so that he has a nice open attack path here once MMA throws down his third at this location there. Right now, though, it looks like Leenock is just going to feel pretty safe right now taking his expansions there, and no queen sound for some reason when that queen came out. Not really sure why. Actually, you know what? It seems to me like game sounds are really low. You know what? I'm going to check it really quick. No, that's about my normal audio settings. All right, gonna keep going. All right. MMA has now thrown down his command center at his natural expansion. Looks like he's moving out here with an SCV and some Marines here. Looks like he might be trying to put some pressure back on his opponent right now. He does have one tech lab up, now researching that combat shield. It is going to be on the way. Lots of Marines also being produced here out of these 4 barracks. And if we check out the harvester count right now, we can see that looks like MMA's up by just a little bit, 30 harvesters to 27 harvesters of Leenock. But Leenock now pulling back. He does know this attack is coming. He had all those Zerglings on that watchtower, and so now he's going to know that all of these forces are moving out, and oh, looks like he's going to be able to pick off this SCV. The SCV goes down. No bunkers are going to be going down, and MMA, I think, is going to be forced to pull back because, well, without that bunker, that could be a very, very, very hard pressure to hold with this small group of units. As we can see, Leenock already has a lot of banelings up in his base right now, so I think MMA is going to be forced to just pull back a little bit. He's going to try to control these middle Xel'Naga watchtowers, which I think is a very smart move for MMA. If you're going to be a little bit aggressive, then, well, if you can't be aggressive, you might as well take your forces and control those Xel'Naga watchtowers, because this is probably not a force that Leenock is going to want to engage right away. He's going to have to produce extra Zerglings if he wants to do that right now. He wants to try to stick on the same number of Zerglings that he has so he can get up lots and lots more drones. And actually, surprisingly, I'm actually seeing lots and lots of Zerglings on the production tab right now, so it looks like Leenock might actually try to go for some kind of an attack here. He's not fully saturated at this natural expansion yet. Notice he's still only mining on 2 gas. This left gas geyser in his main has not yet been taken. Lair Tech not on the way. 20 Zerglings on the way. Wow, it looks like Leenock is going to try to go for a very, very big attack. This is just a smidgen all in. I don't want to say it's completely all in, but man, he's producing so many Zerglings, and he's really going to need this attack to do a lot of damage. And oh no, looks like all the Lings actually come forward and get a good surround on all those units. Banelings connecting with all those Marines and Marauders. All those forces of MMA go down, and on the units lost tab, MMA is now behind in the units lost. And now just continuing to produce lots and lots more Marines. Still has these 4 barracks producing units. Factory is now up. Siege Tech is on the way, as well as a siege tank. We do have medevacs on the way as well. 1 engineering bay is currently up at the front. I'm never the biggest fan of this engineering bay placement. This is something I've been seeing some pros do lately, where they put this engineering bay at the front to use as a wall. But oh my goodness, so many banelings coming in, taking down all of the supply depots. MMA was prepared for it, pulled all of his SCVs back there. More supply depots just going down so fast, and oh my god, all the SCVs have been pulled, and so many banelings connected with so many of those SCVs. So much damage being done by Leenock right now, continuing to pick off more Marines. More SCVs are going down right now, and this could actually be the end here for MMA. If we check out the workers killed count, we can see Leenock actually killed 28 workers with that push. Still has a ton of Lings in the base. Beautiful pickup there by MMA, however, right before that siege tank died, he did pick it up into that medevac, now picking up those Marines as well. But as we can see, the SCV count right now for MMA is very low, 14 harvesters, and he's currently being forced to fight with those SCVs as well. 10 harvesters for MMA. One siege tank is now up. Oh man, that thing has practically no hit points. Lings continuing to move around the map here, trying to be annoying, trying to pick off a few last workers, and they are getting quite a bit more workers. More Zerglings continuing to stream across the map as Leenock takes a third base, so he's going to be expanding behind this, so he is not completely all in by any means. Lots of Zerglings picking off that gas geyser, and man, MMA is in such a troubled spot right now. 32 food to the 55 food of Leenock, and ooh, looks like Leenock's finally going to be able to pull back here, but man, so much damage was dealt to MMA. If we check out his main, he's barely mining there, barely mining at his natural expansion, and Leenock, his aggression, while he was doing that aggression, he was mixing in groups of Zerglings with drones, so he's producing both Lings and drones at the same time, using those Lings to continue to reinforce, but also producing lots and lots of drones to get a good econ going behind that as well. So wow, beautiful play there by Leenock. Leenock now going to be moving around, picking off this one Marine that did scout this third hatchery going down, but MMA is in such a troubled spot right now. I don't know what he's going to be able to do to come back from this. He's going to have to produce so many workers to get back in this game. Currently 17 harvesters to 45, but mules are really, really good. So as you can see, his mineral income rate is actually pretty high right now, considering he's only sitting at 19 harvesters. What is MMA going to try to do to come back from that? If we check out the units lost tab, yeah, we can see that MMA is still up in that units lost tab, the one tab that you do not want to be up and ahead in. We do have a macro hatchery now going down here for Leenock. The evolution chamber is down researching this +1 ground carapace, and we do have a spire on the way here for Leenock. There's going to be a bit of a drop here in the back for MMA, and briefly, I do want to mention that this ground carapace is always the upgrade you want to get as a Zerg player. Why? Because that ground carapace, if you get that +1 ground carapace, your Zerglings will actually be able to survive a siege tank shot. Normally, one siege tank shot is enough to kill a Zergling, but if you get that +1 carapace, your Zerglings will survive one attack from siege tanks, which will make a huge difference. And oh my goodness, Leenock, with the destructible rocks that he took down in the early game, is now able to come and just completely deny that harassment there from MMA, going right up that path. MMA was not expecting that, that is for sure, as he did lose that siege tank, and now having taken a lot more damage than he really would have liked to take. Oh my god, I missed a drop, you guys. Hold on. Let's go back for just a brief moment there, because there was a drop down, yes, and it looks like they were able to take out that hatchery. Not able to quite deal with that quick enough because he was too busy dealing with this one up here at his main, but he did save his main, save that gas, the extractor, so not too bad of a loss. Definitely would have preferred not to have lost that hatchery. He's just going to be placing it down right back again, and now the spire is up. We don't yet have any mutas yet on the way here. There we go, just as I say it, of course, 4 Mutalisks now on the production tab in the base of MMA. What else is he doing to try to come back? I mean, taking down that one hatchery at the third is definitely a strong play. It's definitely going to help him a lot in terms of the mid game to late game, because, well, now they're once again matched bases, and that's exactly where Zerg does not want to be. Zerg does not want to be matched bases with Terran ever if he can help it. But I have to say, I love what MMA is doing right now. MMA, he lost a lot of workers, so he has stopped mining a lot of gas right now. I think he's just mining on 3 gas geysers right now, not going full up into all 4 gas geysers. So he's focusing mostly on minerals so that he can get lots of mineral heavy units like Marines and well, yeah, just Marines mostly. Marines are mineral heavy, but he's focusing on small, cheap units to try to get back into the game, using small tactics like drops and things to get back into the game, and that's exactly what he needs to be doing, because I think at this point, I would say that it's pretty much even now, despite MMA is a little bit up in the units lost tab, which is not a good thing, but he's not in too bad of a spot right now. He denied this third base. Leenock is now even in mining bases right now. His main is actually starting to get a little bit low in resources there, so he's actually not going to be mining on 3 bases for too much longer. Leenock is trying to poke in with these Mutalisks, trying to deal some damage. More Mutalisks are on the production tab, but still, lots of drones on the production tab here for Leenock. If we check out the Harvester count right now, we can see that the Harvester count is at 41 to 56 Harvesters. Leenock is currently up. Engineering Bay as well as an Armory now going down. A third Command Center also going down for MMA, so he's going to be getting ready to expand. Reactors now going down on MMA, and this is brilliant play from MMA. As he gets more and more workers, then he starts to add on more and more add-ons so that he can start to produce higher and higher tech units. This is something that we're starting to see much more commonly from Terran players, where Terran players will just, in the early game, rather than get up that early reactor, they'll just get up several barracks. They'll just get extra barracks up, and then as their economy kind of suits them, then they can kind of just add on reactors as needed, or tech labs if that is their path of choice. Now we do see some... Ooh, looks like some missile turrets are going to be going down here as Leenock tries to poke in with these Mutalisks. Once again, I'm liking that Leenock is not fully committing to Mutalisks. He's not rushing to get as many Mutalisks as he can. He's just using a small group of Mutalisks to just do a little bit of harassment, do a little bit of damage if he can, poke in every now and then, make sure that his opponent doesn't move out with any kind of big army against him. As long as he's got these Mutalisks around the bases of MMA, MMA is really not that free to move out. He's going to prevent a lot of drops, because once Mutalisks are on the field, it pretty much shuts down all drop play. And so, in the meantime, he's just using this time to start to get up a lot more drones. He's every now and then he's producing a few Mutalisks, but still lots and lots of drones now being produced. We do have a drop coming into the back of this fourth expansion here for MMA, and it looks like he's going to start to pick down this hatchery, but these Zerglings are just too quick. Made it from the front lines back to this fourth base here very quickly, and now here come the Mutalisks. This is exactly what I was talking about. Drop play becomes very, very dangerous once Mutalisks are on the field, and I think we are about to find out exactly why. This is a lot of resources and a lot of supply tied up in this one medevac, and here come those Mutalisks. They are going to be hunting down that one medevac, and there we go. They do spot the medevac. The medevac falls, and it looks like MMA now taking his third base, and Leenock does spot it with that Overlord. He does have excellent Overlord placement right now. He does have a Zergling at all of these lower bases as well, so he wants to know the exact expansion timing of his opponent there so that he can continue to control the pace of the game, and that's what he's been doing ever since he broke free of that early game bunker containment. Oh no, looks like some of MMA's units are going to be caught out of position, and the Thor goes down, as well as a few Marines. Looks like they are going to go down as well. So MMA lost the Thor. That's actually going to be a big loss. Thors, even in small numbers, help tremendously. In Marine siege tank style armies, Thors are just ridiculously good at taking down Mutalisks. So even just having one or two in a group makes this army so much harder to beat, especially because the Thors can also take damage if your opponent has a lot of banelings. Those Thors do not take that much damage from banelings as they are armored, and especially if you get those upgrades on those Thors, it allows them to tank a lot of the damage while your Marines are stimmed and pulled back, and siege tanks are there to take out all the rest of the lings. Can be very, very strong. Now, Leenock is just getting maxed, and as he gets maxed, he is going to be taking his 5th and 6th bases, continuing to spread creep as well, getting this nice little creep highway going through the middle of the map. Absolutely love that there, and it looks like Leenock going to be losing a few Zerglings there as MMA tried to poke forward with some Marines, took out a few units here, but look at this unit placement here from Leenock. This is such good unit positioning. He knows his opponent is up in this kind of relegated to this top left corner of the base, so he's going to be placing these Zerglings here, one, to deny this from going down. If MMA tries to move out and to try to attack and to try to take this third or this fourth base down here, then Leenock will be able to deny it for a little while. He'll have to unsiege his forces and move them down here, at which time Leenock could just go for a big counterattack on this base. The other thing that this army serves is by having all these Zerglings here, if MMA decides to pack up and start to move through the center of the map, then Leenock will be able to surround from the back as well as from the front. So that is going to be the logic behind all of these Zerglings here in this kind of back, I don't know what to call it, kind of reverse position, kind of forward, like very forward, behind enemy lines position. Looks like the Mutalisk count, though, for Leenock is getting very, very high. If we check out the units tab right now, we can see that 25 Mutalisks are currently on the field. Just a couple of banelings, but holy cow, 110 Zerglings currently out on the field. 71 Harvesters to 66 right now. That is about the most that Leenock is going to want to make. Any more than that, he's going to really start to cut into his army supply, and oh man, it looks like Leenock's going to move in, start to focus down this planetary fortress. A lot of damage was trying to be dealt, but MMA does, of course, get the repair going down on it. Oh, and we do have adrenal glands now coming down here for Leenock. We do see +2 carapace coming down, as well as +3 melee attacks. There's that adrenal glands coming down here. Hive tech is now up, and now Leenock being very, very aggressive right now, trying to keep his opponent pinned on one base, and oh my goodness, brilliant play here from Leenock as he moves forward with those Mutalisks, forces all those Marines out of position, and then just moves in with a group of Zerglings, picks off a few siege tanks that were kind of stray and out of position there. Beautiful move there by Leenock, and he's slowly kind of taking these small gains. Now, we do have one drop coming in here to the bottom right base, and ooh, I don't know, he's passing right over the base of Leenock. Leenock is going to be fully aware of that drop coming down. He does have a couple of spine crawlers that are out here, but it looks like one is going to get focused down. He's going to start to focus down drones, but all the Mutalisks now going to come in, be able to clean that drop up quite nicely. We have another drop that is going to be going for the main here very shortly. And Greater Spire, I should also note, is now on the way as well for Leenock, so he is going to be getting Broodlord tech here very, very soon. Ooh, big attack of Zerglings and Banelings coming in. Looks like they're going to be able to pick off this command center, and that was not canceled. That command center did actually go down, so that is going to be 400 resources lost there for MMA. Now, MMA does still have this drop in the back of the main. Looks like he might get in. Oh no, the spawning pool is still researching that adrenal glands. If that starts to get focused down, looks like that adrenal glands is actually going to be able to finish. In the meantime, it looks like Leenock is going to be going for a big attack at the natural expansion here. Lots of banelings actually being picked off here by all of these forces. Leenock does not want to engage here at all. One gas geyser was now taken down here, but it was completely empty anyway. No gas left in there, and it looks like MMA now going to be forced to pick up that drop and get out of there, as so many Zerglings now out here. We do have infestors out on the field here for Leenock right now. Oh no, the spawning pool is being focused down, but it looks like he's not going to quite get it, and it looks like MMA is going to start to get very aggressive here as he's now moving out with this group of Marines and Marauders, leading with this Thor. I really like this play from MMA. Going to be leading with that Thor to soak up those Baneling hits if his opponent has Banelings, but Leenock trying to rally all of his forces as quickly as he can. He's going to be trying to go for a little bit of a counterattack here, like that play from Leenock. Hatchery does go down in that forward position, and it looks like MMA is now just going to be pulling back. If we check out the units lost tab, we can actually see that at this point Leenock has lost a lot. Lost more resources, but oh my goodness, 9 Broodlords just popped up on the production tab, +3 melee attacks about to be finished. Zerg flyer attacks level 3, as well as chitinous plating going to be finishing up. Leenock on top of so many upgrades and so much different kinds of tech. He's doing so well right now. So many upgrades. I mean, how often do you see +3 Zerg flyer attacks go down? We are at the 30-minute mark, which is very late into the game, but so often even professional players will start to forget about upgrades once you get this late into the game. Getting +3 flyer attacks is absolutely huge. That's going to be so huge. These Broodlords are going to be doing so much damage, and the Broodlords are now moving forward. Lots of Banelings now being warped in as well here for Leenock, as now this whole push is now going to be forced back, as MMA is going to need Vikings to really be able to deal with this Broodlord count well. But of course, there is this high count of Mutalisk that's also going to make Vikings very, very hard to be able to deal with, or make Vikings easily dealt with by Leenock. Another command center now going down, but this command center is so late. Leenock has been on so many more bases than an MMA for so long, and he's just been controlling the pacing of this game so well. Ooh, we do have a couple of burrowed Banelings here by MMA, or by Leenock rather. If he's not careful there, he could actually lose a lot of Marines there. No actually other burrowed Banelings. I'm actually surprised that we don't have any others out here in the middle of the map. But oh my goodness, here comes the engagement here as MMA is now sieging up in the middle of the map. Thors are still in that forward position. Broodlord's now moving forward to deal some damage. These infestors have so much energy. They're moving forward, and the Marines are also clumped up, and the Marines get fungal growth. The Banelings coming in, connecting with everything. Beautiful fungal growth there by Leenock. Oh, MMA just didn't spread out his Marines there in that final engagement, and that really, really, really hurt him. That means Leenock has, of course, taken Game 1, and we're going to be jumping into Game 2 right now, ladies and gentlemen, to see if MMA can come back or whether Leenock is going to be taking this home with a 2-0, so stick with me, guys. Game 2 of MMA versus Leenock from MLG Providence in just a moment.